we should be live. Hopefully.
I see us.
Yeah, do we hear us? That's the next question. Oh, we hear us. Oh, good. It sounds like the microphones are working.
Only it's not just me and you that can hear each other.
Yeah.
We've had, as usual, technical difficulties, but...
Well, I've got a lot set up that I hadn't had set up before, because now we're using the microphones and the DJI, and it told me music was going to work, but that didn't happen.
No, but it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks good.
It does. The DJI looks so much better.
I'm just going to fix my hair. I got to get it cut.
I like how you have it started over there so we can see what's happening, and it must have paused itself because it's not going anymore. I don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully you all can see and hear us.
There it is.
It just likes to pause itself a lot. Well, good evening, everybody. Hello to Lyle and Jerry and Jane.
Oh, hello, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if we'd feel up to this, but...
Yeah, it's been a rainy, cloudy, stormy day all day here.
And I had so much fatigue today. I was like, am I going to be able to... I don't know. You said, you look like you want to go to sleep. And I was like, I do.
You had a little rest.
I love our little friend here.
Oh, yes. Look at the way he is sitting.
Yes.
Very distinguished.
She's named it Maurice.
Yes. Oh, he got named as soon as I plucked him off of the shelf at Target. We were walking down the aisles of Target, and I'm like, Maurice is having a good old time.
Maurice. Well, you know, everything has had a name since she was born. But she could talk. She named things.
That is true. I've got to remember to look at the camera and not the computer because I'm used to looking here.
Yeah.
And now that we have that set up, I have to look up there.
I feel like it's so far away.
It's not, though. It looks pretty good. I mean, I feel like it looks pretty good overall.
I feel like it's too far away.
Well, that's where it is for now. This time around, this is where it is.
We should scoot up a little.
No, I'm good. We're going to stay there because I'm going to move the table.
Okay. How are you guys tonight?
Yeah.
I hope doing well.
We'll wait a few minutes here and see. I know a few other people said they might join, so join in.
I am really excited.
Mm-hmm.
As much as excitement as I can get into with a rainy day. It's been like this all day.
Yes.
Rainy and dreary, and actually it's a little brighter now than it was.
Yeah.
Lots of storms in and out, and
yeah.
But we just had a lazy. Actually, it wasn't too lazy of a day because we lost some keys. And we've been trying to find them and searching the house, so we went through a whole bunch of stuff, and then we decided to rearrange in that process some of the things in the
That's true.
closet.
Thankfully, it's not any keys that we need to get in anywhere, so we're good there. But they're needed keys at some point. Yeah. So that's been fun. Also, you all let me know if YouTube's been weird again. I can already see it threw in an ad on our side, and I do not have it set that way. It's not supposed to throw in ads that often, but they do what they want. So let me know if you start getting too many ads, and I'll see if I can.
We can do anything about it.
I'm just messing with settings to see what happens.
I mean, I just think they do it when they want.
Apparently, because they told me
the illusion that we have control.
Right. They told me they would do it like every 28 minutes, and it would be random within that 28 minutes, just as a setting to try. And it's already, I'm like, okay, random shouldn't mean within the first minute.
30 minutes.
Yeah. I'm like, this is
I don't think there's
too much.
We can do.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is what it is. But hopefully you actually can see us and not just a bunch of ads.
Yeah. Lyle says he's been busy. I hear that.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
We finally, I think finally have recovered from our trip. It takes us a lot longer to recover, especially that long of a trip.
The trip was so needed and so enjoyable. And we had such a great time. And then when we got back, I was like, well, before we got back, our bodies were like, you're not doing that again.
Yeah, and I got sick.
That distance, and I got sick too.
You were sick on the trip. I was sick the last bit and home, so that was no fun. Yeah.
It takes us a long time to recover. It took about 2 weeks probably to recover.
Yeah.
Or longer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Medicine for a long time. But, it was worth it.
Yes.
It was really worth it.
Yes, and we jumped right into our movie watching fun.
Well, we decided this is gonna. Most people are not gonna relate to this, I don't think, but especially surrounding our circumstances with everything, with our health issues and our life completely changing, upside down changing, a few years ago. Well, we decided we needed something to get us out of the house, to do something, to like just get out and enjoy something, and so we decided to get what is it, Regal?
Yes.
Regal or the AMC, I think maybe has them. I don't know, but
yeah,
anyway,
it depends on whatever
the
theater is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have a couple theaters actually. A subscription, and we're not really like go to the movies unless it's like Marvel or Disney, because we don't really like most movies, and we want family friendly as possible, and there's just not a lot of that. There's a lot of horror movies, a lot of stuff I'm just not into, and neither are you. But we decided there was a whole lot of movies coming out this summer that we thought we would actually go see.
Yeah.
And it pays for itself every month if you go to 2 movies. It gets paid for.
Yeah, because movies are expensive now.
Everything after the second movie is free.
Yeah,
and you
it's
get
a
free
good deal.
popcorn and free drinks and free whatever, like sodas and stuff, or whatever you want. Discounts on some of it.
Discounts on other tickets.
Yeah. So like it's really a good deal if there's lots of movies, and we thought, well, we'll just try it out for the summer and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, we've just been having a great time with it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. We're not talking about it first. We're talking about it, looks like third on our list. But I'm really excited to talk about A Great Awakening, which we did see in Florida with our amazing friends Jane and Jerry. We just love you guys so much, and we are so thankful that we have the same thought process and worldview. And so we got to see the movie with Jane and Jerry while we were there, and I loved it, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk about it.
There's a lot I'm excited to talk about tonight, because we've seen
Me too.
We've seen some really good movies, even at-home movies that I had just waited to watch or wasn't able to watch until they came on streaming recently or whatever. So I was surprised how many of these were really good.
Me too, because I've kind of given up hope on movies being even decent, let alone
they're getting
good.
better.
They are.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, Dean.
Hi, Dean.
Hey. It was so great to see you when we were in Florida.
Oh, great. We were just talking about being in Florida.
Yeah.
It was something I needed to do to just to do something, to put my mind on something else, get it off all the health issues and life changes and everything. Yeah. And it sounds funny to like escape away to the movies, but that's kind of what they are, right?
That's
kind of
what they were made for, yeah.
And so I love this idea, and we can go during the week when nobody else goes. I think there's like 4 people in one theater.
Yeah, during the day there's like nobody there.
Yeah,
it's like
just
a theater to ourselves.
4 other people, or 6 other people. And that's really great. And I just think it's been great. And we want to talk about them. There'll be spoilers because we're going to talk about them in depth, because we want to...
We'll try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, but there are some things things you kind of have to talk about if you want to talk about
it. Right. And if you're like us and you want to know, like, how family friendly is it?
Right.
What can we expect? What can we watch out for? Should you watch it first before you show your kids? We have some ideas and thoughts on all that.
Yeah.
Plus the entertainment value, of course.
Yeah, and the artistic value too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lyle says he is excited for The Mandalorian. So are we.
So are we. We're going next week, I think, right?
Yes. And Masters of the Universe. You know, that advertised during the last movie we saw, and that actually looks pretty entertaining.
I kind of want to see it because
it's... I'm sure we will.
I didn't play with it in my childhood.
Right, yeah.
But...
Was it...
It was pretty prevalent, and I saw it everywhere.
It was 80s mainly, right? Because it went into the 90s, right?
But that was like...
Was that more She-Ra?
And I'm not even sure.
Kind of the...
I mean, that was in the 80s too, I think.
Okay.
But it was in the 80s with the toys and the cartoon on Saturday mornings, and they tried to make some movies here and there. But I just kind of want to see it, to see what they do with it, and see if there's like a... I mean, it's He-Man. It's going to be dorky.
Right.
How can it not be?
Right.
But I hope they take it that way. I hope they don't mind being a little cheesy.
Yeah, I think it needs to be.
Nostalgic. I do too.
I think if you try to take it too serious, it's going to come off as way cheesier than if you just kind of roll with what it is.
And who's making that movie?
It's a Hasbro product.
So it's not even low Sony level.
It might be. Well, I'm trying to think of who made Transformers and Barbie. I think it was Universal.
Oh, Universal.
I think I don't know. I don't remember who's making Master of the Universe though, so I'm not sure.
Well, I kind of want to see it too, just because I think it'll be something entertaining, and maybe get some good laughs out of it too.
Surprisingly,
it has humor in it.
Did you even realize that one of the movies we saw on this list, the guy who plays He-Man was one of the characters in the movies we watched? We'll see if you can guess which one as we
He
go
plays
along.
He-Man in this new movie?
Yeah. We'll see if you.
Oh, he was in A Great Awakening.
No.
He was not in Great Awakening. He was in Sarah's Oil.
No.
He was not in Sarah's Oil. He had to be in Harold and the Purple Crayon.
You're just gonna go through them all now.
Right. He was in Sheep Detectives? Was he the detective? He's good.
Not the detective.
Oh, well,
he was
good.
the
the journalist.
That's what I figured.
The journalist.
Yeah.
He was really good in that movie.
The same guy.
I didn't think I would. I really actually thought I'm probably not gonna like Sheep Detectives because it just doesn't seem like my kind of movie. Even though I like movies that are like that, talking characters, and what is that called when not talking characters, talking animals? What's that called?
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah, that's a hard word to say.
It is a very hard word.
Well, that was enough for me tonight to talk. Anthropomorphic.
That's a hard word.
But I liked it a lot. And I can't wait to talk about it because he was really good.
Yeah, he was. Hello, Steve Dave. He said Amazon MGM Studios is making He-Man. That's right.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about that.
You gotta type, if you want to, type in which name we should call you because your name's different on Instagram.
Yeah, we want to call you by whichever name you prefer on here. Yeah. Yes.
Not that I'll remember. I'm going to try.
Right. I usually just say the URLs when they the ads when they come up on here because I don't always see it all.
I've always meant to ask that, and I just haven't thought of it because my brain is forgetful.
Yes. Yeah.
A new Spielberg movie.
Oh yeah, that you're talking about Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day.
Intriguing.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
So I could talk about that all night, but I won't.
We'll do that one on another stream if we want to.
Yeah, because I don't know that I can see it. I think it's maybe too scary, and maybe
it's very suspenseful.
He's intimating that it is real stuff he learned from government people and all this stuff that some of it's true and they're going to disclose, and I'm like
the behind the scenes stuff or whatever.
Okay, so it's
Adrian. Okay,
name.
I thought so, but I didn't know. I was like, I'll just read that for now. But yeah, okay, sounds good. Yeah. So should we dive into the first one?
Yeah.
All right.
Should I do the moonwalk?
I was gonna say, you do the moonwalk and I'll go hee hee.
Way back when, and we were watching the music awards, and Michael came out. We were glued to the TV because Michael didn't get on much.
I was not there. I was not born yet.
Not the Wii. The Wii back then.
I was not there.
And we were up doing the moonwalk. As soon as he did it, we were doing it with him. That was so cool. Then I went to school and I went to dances and I did that kind of stuff and I did the moonwalk.
It's iconic. I
loved it. It was awesome.
He's
I even had a little glove.
Yeah.
But it was
sparkly?
Yeah, it was sparkly because it was one of those that, how old was I? Probably 13 or 14.
Yeah.
It's one of those that goes under other gloves, and it was an insulating glove, but they use silver thread in it.
Oh.
I wore that sucker to school.
I bet that was hot.
So?
Your hands sweat the whole time. Just slides off because it's just sweat dripping.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
And I love to dance at the dances, and it was really fun, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have that many good memories of my childhood. In fact, I have a lot of bad memories.
Yeah.
That's one of the better ones. It's fun.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing how much art and music can do that. Mm-hmm. And that's something that Michael Jackson was incredibly gifted at, I think, was just that connection through music. Like the sound of the music, the lyrics a lot of times, even if they weren't necessarily meaningful lyrics, like some of his more fun songs, they were just really cleverly written.
Yes.
And so I think that just connected with people.
You feel something. That's the thing about this movie is I didn't know in the beginning when I saw it first advertised.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I want to see it because I didn't watch any of the other stuff since he passed. I wasn't sure.
He had a hard life.
I didn't know if I could handle that. Mm-hmm. I also didn't know, is it going to be true? Does his family agree, or have they given their blessing? Does it even matter? Some of them might not even agree on things. So
there's been some back and forth in entertainment and all that. Hi, Robin.
Glad to see you here.
Yeah.
So glad.
Yeah, but I just thought, by the way, it
is. I'm talking to you. You already know this. Right? By the way, before she goes on,
yeah,
it is most of his family actually put it together. They didn't just sign off on it. They put it
Yeah,
together. It's
most
his
of them were the
nephew
producers.
playing him, which
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
His
His family said they forgot in some scenes that they weren't watching Michael.
I'm not shocked because I did. There were several times watching it that my brain was like, well, this is just footage of Michael.
It was amazing. And sometimes he sang and sometimes they had Michael singing, but
I don't know if they used some sort of audio process over his voice to make him sound more like Michael. It sounds to me like it was just natural. He sounds exactly like him.
He does.
In his mannerisms.
He even looks like him, everything. He moves like him.
All
Perfection
of it.
As far as like...
I don't know how long he studied him for. Like how he actually moved into it. But it was
phenomenal.
It is. Did we just lose our video feed? It does that sometimes. Hold on.
No.
There we go. It went black on my end, so I have no... Oh, yep, black for a second. Sorry. It does that. I'm going to keep the other window up in the background because sometimes it does weird stuff. I think it goes to sleep.
Okay.
We should be back.
I don't know how, I don't think they told all of his life, and it's only up until right
88.
after 1988. So right after the Victory Tour
with the Jacksons,
with his brothers.
Yeah.
And so after that, they don't go into the rest of his life. They talked like they wanted to, and maybe they still will. Who knows?
At the end, it does say his story will continue.
Yeah,
which we're all laughing about now because
Doomsday.
Other people who did the same thing. I saw something on Instagram that it said Michael Jackson will return in Doomsday. Have you guys
seen that trend? It's in other movies and everything.
It is because Marvel keeps announcing that every character they've pretty much ever done is coming back in Doomsday. It's now a running joke.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say it's other movies technically. That people are putting on clips of it like that.
But Michael Jackson would have wanted to be in Doomsday if he was here, so I think it fits.
Yeah. I do too. I think
because he loved that.
Totally,
I heard a story actually where, and I think it's true. I was reading about it on an entertainment website. I'm pretty sure that he tried to buy the rights to Spider-Man because he wanted to make movies and star in them as Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah. Wouldn't that have been interesting?
Yeah.
Probably not the same Spider-Man we know today.
Not.
But fascinating to me. But yeah, I think the Michael movie though is just
I'm pretty sure his nephew sings in the first several songs because it's him. Well, in the first...
It's like the recording sessions.
The first several, maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes of the opening movie, it's him as a child growing up. And
with the Jackson
with
5
his father and his brothers, and that's hard to watch because the father... It's well known that the father did not treat...
His father did not treat him well. As far as a parental guide, they show very briefly a little bit of that abuse.
Couple of times
but
of him,
it's not much. But you can tell
you could use
how hard it was.
You could maybe use it as a springboard to talk to your child about that kind of thing. But so after that, it goes into Michael's nephew who plays him as a teenager and as an adult, and he did sing a lot of that in the beginning, the slow stuff from what I heard in an interview, and then the rest I think is Michael.
Yes,
but
wow. Robin says she has seen Jafar did sing in the movie, and they used a blend. And
I was amazed.
He sounds great.
Also, to tell the story of a family member you love has got to be super hard, or yourself, either one, has got to be super hard because everything that's not being included.
True.
Or lots about your family member that isn't being included.
And you also don't necessarily need to include everything. And it might be hard to know how to edit that.
Yeah, I feel like they did a good job. They didn't show too much. But I loved how they showcased his love for music as a way to show the love that God has for us. Yeah. They really highlighted
Actually, they talked
Michael's
about
faith.
his faith some, yeah.
Yes. His complete worldview, I don't share his complete worldview.
Right.
But they did showcase that he loves God. And that he
cared about
as
that.
If Jesus was his savior. And so his songs often have that woven into it, and I
some
like
of those
how
elements,
they
they didn't get to the era of Man in the Mirror and all that, but I think of
those
songs as Human Nature.
Oh goodness, sorry.
Those like to stick to the things. I think overall, as just even setting aside who it's about, how they did. I'm not usually a fan of biopics. I find a lot of times they're very oddly paced. and hard to follow, and sometimes I just get kind of bored.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way through this one at all.
No.
I thought they paced it extremely well, and I found it interesting. It was sort of like seeing snippets and highlights of someone's life, but I think the way they put it together with the music and the transitions and everything worked really well.
I was pretty impressed with how they took snippets of his life and dove into those pretty heavily, so you feel like you didn't miss anything in that part of his life, but it wasn't like
it didn't focus
heavy
too
in
much
dialogue that you got lost.
Yeah, it's almost like they had this timeline, and they would like go on this timeline and zoom in a little bit and then zoom out, and then it was very interesting.
And the music was incredible. If you like Michael
Jackson, so yeah,
because we just dancing in the seats, but because it was so good. But you saw what I saw watching it was the sacrifices he chose to make, because I mean sometimes things happen to us and it's not our choice. But a lot of it he wasn't in control of, and then when he got old enough, he the way he chose to do things was honorable, I think, because it would take a lot to honor his father after the way he treated him, and he still tried to, and his brothers and mother who let it happen. But he still tried to, and I feel like that was true of what I remember hearing about him.
And that's what's interesting, because there's been a lot of speculation on Michael's life in different ways through the years, and obviously none of us know anybody behind the scenes, and especially in entertainment. We're not there, we're not living that, we don't know. But as far as what I've seen through the years and paid attention to, and different interviews he would do, and just how he would talk, it seems to me, I believe that was accurate.
The way they portrayed it.
Yeah, yes, based on what I got gathered from how he was.
And I remember a lot because he was one of my favorite artists. I followed his life quite a bit. I mean, I'm not really a starstruck person. I don't get those feelings that most people do. I don't have to rush up to people and get autographs and stuff. But I do like to meet them and tell them thank you for sharing your art with the world and things like that if I can. I never met him, never got to go to a concert. But I did really admire him back then. Like, he was driven in a good, positive way, and his songs really show that. I didn't know the story about the song "Beat It" when he was.
I didn't either.
Saw something on the news.
That was fascinating. I was like, it was actually quite brave of him.
It was very brave.
Yeah.
And I still don't know. The movie didn't make it clear, but exactly how he did it. But
it might have been.
He saw on the news.
It might have been
the two gangs in L.A. area.
They might not have gone into all the details. It was kind of brief, but yeah.
But he saw on the news the two gangs in the 80s that were fighting and killing each other, and he said, "I want to get people from both together and see if we can't bring them together, basically through the music, the art of music, the feeling of music and emotion." And so that's behind the song "Beat It." And I thought that was, I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, now when because
he was very loving and philanthropic and faithful.
He certainly seemed like it to me.
Yeah.
I always
thought
that.
He came across that way then.
I thought so. I thought it was interesting too, because seeing some of these stories behind the songs now makes me think differently about the lyrics.
Me too.
Because a lot of times lyrics are just people just write something.
Yeah.
But to know there were things behind those.
Yeah, I loved how they put, like, he had a huge wall size practically, like a board he would put sticky notes on or whatever, and pin them up there, and they were just pieces of lyrics. They were pieces of stories, and he would like connect them, and they showed how he worked out his thoughts about the world and about whatever he was going to sing about. Yeah. And he figured that out, and he was very specific, and he made sure he knew the name of the album would be what it was because of the reasoning behind it. He just like pick a name.
Right.
Like a lot of people will do.
Which was interesting. And I have to say, as a trained dancer for years, seeing his choreography process was so interesting to me, because I remember in the theater I looked over at you when they were showing them filming the Beat It part, and I said, and Thriller. And I said, it doesn't matter how amazing of a dancer you are. If you did any session of choreography with Michael Jackson, you would be exhausted and sore for a week. There's no way you would. His choreography was on another level.
Yeah, and he expected them to move the way he moved. And he's gifted in making movements become words.
Yeah.
And that was I'm sure that was not easy for them.
Mm-mm.
But he could tell a story with movement and music like very, very few other people could.
It was
Prince was very, very talented as well. But
they had a lot of similarities in those ways.
Not with Prince moved more like James Brown, who was a Michael Jackson looked up to him too, and how he moved. That's was evident, and they talked about that in the movie.
Michael seemed to have a lot more like a musical theaters type style, though.
Yes, and it just came out of him because in the movie there were several instances where he said, "No, I want to move this way. I want to do it that way. I want this to be," and they were subtle things. But when you got done, you're like, "Wow, that totally makes sense."
I thought it was cool how they highlighted it when they showed them filming Thriller, and it was kind of the juxtaposition of they had the director, who was a movie director, filming this video.
Bruckheimer?
I thought it was John Hughes, but
John Hughes, maybe. I don't know.
He said John, and I was thinking that's
right.
what it was, but
maybe
I can't remember. But
I think that's
so
right.
he was filming from a movie perspective. He was thinking of zooming in certain areas or whatever. And in one part, Michael goes up to him and says, "I'm just worried people aren't going to be able to see our feet. Can you try zooming out instead of zooming in?" And he's like,
then he
"Yeah, sure."
And he goes, "Thank you for that."
Yeah.
And Michael was so kind.
Yeah.
And so it was neat.
It was really cool to see how that process was developed.
He had a vision for every single thing he did. There was always something, a vision and a driving from his heart. You could just see it.
And on a deeper level, I gained a greater appreciation and understanding of how, not only how difficult it must be that's okay. Not only how difficult it must be to be in that level of entertainment where all eyes are on you from a young age.
Yeah.
They're watching your every move. But also to have his family life that really stole his childhood.
Yeah.
And it's hard to watch, but it helps you to understand what was behind a lot of how he decided to do certain things and what mattered to him.
He recognized when he got a little old enough, older teen, young man. He talked about it in the movie, and so I truly believe this about him because they knew they would have heard his conversations. That he realized he went through a lot, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
And he got hurt with the Pepsi commercial and everything.
Yeah.
And that was a long process to recover. I remember that happening. He talked about he knew why he was here.
Right.
He knew why he was put on earth. To use his gifts in musical gifts to help people feel emotion, love, and things like
to help heal.
Yeah, to help heal. Yeah. Things like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really neat because I feel like that sometimes we live our lives just, well, for lack of time and lack of better words, a lot of people live their lives wasted. They don't try to find, even especially if they're a believer, to find what I don't have to be gifted musically or whatever, but what can I do? What am I good at? What have I been given to then share with the world? And he saw that, so he lived that out.
And I can say that having been in entertainment for 20 some years, that is not generally the perspective you are taught to have.
No.
It's most people don't go into it with that perspective.
They think that when they get in, it's a lot like politics.
It is, and I think that's why some people stand out in a different way in entertainment than the majority.
Yeah.
So I just thought I thought all that was very, very interesting. And so if here, let me see if I can get this fancy slide to work. There it is. If you're wanting to, give it a second. We have a delay. If you're wanting to watch Michael at some point, it's still in the theaters as of right now. And then I'm not sure. I have a feeling it's going to come out to Amazon Prime at some point, but I'm not sure what is going to pick it up. But it is worth watching, I think.
And they might sell it out to more, too. I don't know if there's a whole lot more to sell out to anymore. To distribute to.
Right, I know.
That's cool.
But that is I think it's worth watching if you have any interest in Michael Jackson or the entertainment, music industry.
Because they really wove the music in and out.
Yeah.
perfectly.
They really did. It was well done.
Yes, it was.
I really appreciated
And it was family friendly. Like it wasn't
really
a bunch
was,
of cuss words here and there.
Actually, there was very little. They said a couple of words here and there, and that was. It was never Michael, which I found interesting. I don't think he talked that way from what people say. It was the people around him would sometimes, it was showcasing that. And it was very specific.
It was really neat to watch that they portrayed how the people suddenly would draw back because Michael, I think, made them think.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of that, it seemed like, because he was thoughtful in how he talked.
Very.
And most people especially in that industry just aren't thinking in that way a lot of times, and so I think it did make a lot of people pause and think about that.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Definitely worth watching. I appreciated it. Our other movie and our other theater movie that we saw, Sheep Detectives. Oh, I love these sheep. They are so cute.
Do you have a slide for this?
I do. There it is.
Uh-huh.
Isn't it so cute? Look at that little lamb.
It was not even corny.
It really wasn't. I really thought it would be like I thought it would be more kid-like in how it was made.
Mm-hmm.
Some
it really
kids,
wasn't at all.
No.
I'm not even sure. I wouldn't take my young child to it.
No, because of the concept.
Yes. But older,
but I have to say, just like how it was done, though, like setting aside the concept of it, some family-friendly movies are made. They feel like a Disney Channel movie. Yeah. Like there's just a different feel to it. Seems like
there's a different feel between a Disney Channel movie and a Disney theater production.
Very different.
Yeah.
It's like it's done differently. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of kids' movies are made that way. And so this one, I was pleasantly surprised was not.
I was too. I really didn't know what to expect. I really wasn't expecting what we got.
Well, me either. And I know when I put out the little snippet of a review, when we saw it, I said it's really strange to say that a murder mystery would be a family movie, but how it's done so well, and it has a purpose for teaching life lessons that I completely understand why a lot of people are appreciating it for the conversations that it starts with their kids.
Me too, and I think that it on a much more family-friendly level, I like how it was done a lot like the Clue movie from the early 90s.
It's way more family-friendly than that even.
No,
that showed a lot.
No, what I'm saying is that's what I was trying to say. I guess I didn't say it clear enough. This movie is much more on a family-friendly level. Yes. But it's done in that format.
That whodunit, old classic style.
And that is what I like. And whatever, like even older than that is the what's the movie with You Did It?
Oh, yeah, that's
with Peter Sellers.
Yes,
what was that movie? That was a good movie.
Yes, it's got
it's got everybody in it.
It literally does. I'm blanking on it, but it has a title that's backwards, like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then they redo the movie a few times, like for a different ending. Y'all help us out. What was that movie?
Is that Murder by Death?
Murder by Death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you think, because I'm, like I said, I'm really picky about stuff. I don't want to go to a scary movie. I don't want to go into anything that's, there are movies I've seen that are more intense. Yeah. That are on that same level that I think are done really well, even though I didn't really love them.
More like an Agatha Christie kind of,
They did a really good job with how that was done. I don't really love the story, but they did a really good job.
But similar in concept of how it, like, we're going to interview each person and see what their story is and see what fits and what doesn't. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I really think you could tell that the purpose of the murder mystery was to teach about grief and loss and belonging and finding.
They did a great job.
Like finding the meaning of life in the midst of that.
Yeah.
And they do that through these sheep.
And I personally, I love that they show a side of humanity through these animals, and how you almost forget you're looking at an animal talking.
Yeah, and I'd say the voice cast does a phenomenal job, the dialogue is really well written.
It really is. It truthfully is. And the color and the countryside, and it's beautiful. The movie's beautiful. And then I love how they took the grief side of it into the faith side of it. I wasn't expecting a faith element.
No, to me it seemed like there was intentional allegory in some of it.
Very, very much so.
You have
something like a
to know it
C.S.
to see
Lewis
it,
style,
but yeah,
really. I thought it was neat.
I think
what
it's
did they
neat.
say that like in one part they said something? I don't want to give away too much, obviously, but
they talked a little bit about like the shepherd in the heavens, and there's something to that effect.
And you know your shepherd,
Mm-hmm.
and I really thought that was neat because they took it all the way through the movie. Yeah. And they only mentioned it a few times, but the way they talked and the way they interacted, and the even adding the lighthearted side of it, so it's not so heavy.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job.
I really, really loved that one. I would totally watch it again.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those for me that I was surprised. I thought this would be just a one and done kind of, that was cute, or whatever.
There is
but
a scene
it's really good
where, like, you might want to watch it if you're a parent of young children ahead of time, to see, because there's a couple of scenes, and for example, one of the sheep doesn't make it in protecting the other sheep. And so you see this
it's intense, but there's absolutely nothing graphic in the movie.
Yeah, there's no blood scenes. There's no
nothing.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
Really, the whole scene focuses on if you lay down your life for a friend. There is no greater love than a love that would lay down their life for a friend. They really actually show that through the sheep protecting these other sheep.
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome, the way they did it.
And
was
I love
really great.
If you see it, you'll understand what this means. But I love the whole winter lamb story. That was really touching.
They wove that in and out too, because I actually a lot of times I will figure out who done it. The who.
Yeah, right.
I will figure out.
It had a pretty good twist.
It actually, I figured it out. Like, I knew it. I figured, I think it has to be this. Actually, I thought it was two together, but it turned out just to be the one. But, like, when I'm watching something, that's the fun part for me sometimes, is try to figure out, like, the clues and different things, because otherwise I don't want to watch stuff like that.
Well, and also, as a more kid-friendly movie, a lot of times they make it very obvious.
Right.
From the beginning.
That's what I was going to say. They didn't. They did such a good job of making the whodunit, the who part, really, it fit, and at the end, it made sense, and you felt like, that ended. It didn't end with a car chase or a police or anything. It was it was very much the whodunit even at the end, and of course the detective explains it out and everything. So it's sort of told to you.
Yeah.
But I love how they did it. I thought it was great.
I just love those sheep.
They're so cute.
They're so cute.
I know, especially that little winter lamb.
Oh,
no,
it's got the sweetest little voice.
No, I know.
Yeah, that one's a top-notch one for me. What do we have next?
A Great Awakening.
Oh, yes. This is also one we saw in the theater, but now it is available for renting and buying at home, and definitely worth it.
And I don't buy very many. We buy Marvel movies and Disney movies and stuff, I don't buy almost never anymore do I buy a movie outside of those. Like, I just because they're always on something. I would buy this one.
Yeah. This
was so well done.
It is a historical drama that did not put me to sleep. And I actually love history. What's funny is I actually really love history. Like, I like reading about, especially things that matter in the world. And also, particularly faith-based.
Also, they're hard to watch because you never, as we said with Michael, the Michael movie, in a biography, same thing with history. You're not sure who put it together. Are they telling me the truth? Did they embellish anything? Or is it just creative license?
Yes. And so often when they do more docudramas, there's a lot of extra that I feel like detracts from the story. Yeah. And this one was not that way.
No.
At all.
Sight
and Sound is phenomenal, though, so I'm not surprised.
If you guys have ever been to a Sight and Sound theater, there's two in the country, right?
Pennsylvania and Branson, Missouri.
Yeah. And if you've ever been to one of their theaters, you're just in awe. It doesn't even matter if you are familiar with the story you're watching, it's it's a stage theater.
Yeah.
Or if you're not familiar with it, you will love it. The theater, the stage isn't just in front of you; it's almost all the way around you. So just the back wall of doors and a few seats, and then the stage starts.
And then they bring animals and actors up through the audience and everything.
Acting
Like
in the
camels
aisles.
will walk up the aisles.
Yeah, and triumphal entries.
I
come
remember.
down through.
So we went to see Esther a few years ago in Branson, at their theater
We've
there.
seen a few shows there.
I mean, it's been years, so this is the only one I actually remember being at, and I remember seeing them open the curtain to the city of
just
the
front
Persian
stage.
city, and then I was like, "That's incredible!" Like the
incredible,
the 2-story buildings that rotate and everything, and then they play this huge like roaring music, and then the curtains open up all the way around. My jaw dropped.
I was like, I can't look at it fast enough.
It is
like,
so.
I want to see it all.
I've seen so much in theater through the years and styles and everything. I'm used to a lot of it. It doesn't. It's not that it doesn't impress me because I think it's amazing. It's a lot of hard work that a lot of people don't even realize.
There's not many surprises.
There's not many surprises. And that one though, my jaw dropped.
How the houses? Well, in Esther, they were I mean, not houses like we think of today, obviously, because that was 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, more. Well, yeah. It was.
So anyway, their homes turned on the stage so you could see inside.
Yeah.
So that you could see they were doing inside when they were, and then they would rotate, and you'd have the outside city scene. That's so cool. So and the music is it's all original. Their productions are all original, and their music and everything.
That's how they did the movie.
That's exactly
it wasn't
how they
a stage production,
no.
but just the way they filmed. The cinematography was like you were watching a stage production. How they focused in on areas.
But yet at the same time, I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
Like I was in it.
Yeah.
Like I was part of the scene.
It was incredible.
It really was. So the story is based on. You tell the story. What the story is based on.
So it's George Whitfield is who it mainly revolves around, and he was an evangelist.
Well, he started out not.
He started out wanting to be an actor.
Yeah.
And he came to a
had
point.
A really hard childhood, so he wanted to get out of that hard childhood.
He was blind in one eye, and so he was mistreated for that. His mother was very poor. They didn't have a lot of means to. He couldn't go to school.
Abusive male in their life.
As a boss, but this mentor of his that would perform in this saloon, basically is what it was. It had a little stage, and this mentor was like, you need to be an actor. You need to use your God-given talents.
And he talked about his voice being something that
he
everyone
could project,
hear. He could project
in ways that like no one else could. It was a God-given gift, and so he helps him go to a school and learn these things. And through this process,
for his way, I believe.
Yeah, and through this process,
this is a true story, by the way.
He comes to know Jesus and understands what faith is through meeting John Wesley, right? I think it's John Wesley.
And in school, he was a very compassionate person because of the way he had been treated. So in school, he sees someone being mistreated.
No, he's mistreated.
He's mistreated, but there's somebody else too, right?
No, it's just him. They're just mistreating him, and Wesley comes up to him. I
was thinking he saw somebody too, but I don't remember.
Well, later he goes to the prisons.
That's what I'm thinking.
And
yes.
ministers to people.
The group of college guys he's with, in this group of that he's with, they do. That's what they do. That's what I'm thinking.
And that's his story, is basically going into the places that no one else would go.
Yeah.
And how God worked through that. And eventually he gets to America and meets Benjamin Franklin. And it's kind of Benjamin Franklin telling this history.
They had, right?
Yeah, it was very interesting. It's so moving. Hey, Lee. It's so moving. There were multiple times that tears were coming into my eyes because it's that good.
So we've already mentioned tonight the faith element of the Michael Jackson movie, and the faith element of Sheep Detectives. Neither one of those were faith-based movies, per se.
Yeah.
This one is a faith-based movie, and so it is about his life and how he becomes his voice projects throughout city, like the whole town.
He's basically seen as the father of the Great
gospel.
Awakening movement, basically.
But wow, I did not know that Benjamin Franklin was a deist but not a believer. Like, I didn't know the whole story of Benjamin
Yeah,
Franklin.
he believed in a higher power,
Right. He
essentially,
believed there was
a
a
god.
God. He just didn't
Yeah,
believe.
it wasn't
Right. And
necessarily
what's so
Christianity
amazing is
that
that
he adhered to.
when he would, so he went to Benjamin because Benjamin had newspaper press,
Yes.
and he wanted to spread what he was doing in America in spreading the gospel in the newspaper. And even in their relationship as it developed, Benjamin didn't, he just told his story. He didn't listen to him. And then,
But they show how much it affected him and
Yes.
touched him and how much he thought about it.
yes.
We don't really know at the end of Benjamin's life what ended up happening. I mean, nobody knows the individual
No.
side of that.
But didn't they kind of allude that he might have?
It kind of seems like it, but
might
it
have-
might be unknown.
It may be.
He may have never
It may
spoken
be.
about it. I don't really
Yeah.
know that because I didn't study that as much. But
They
it's
also, I really
so good.
appreciated how his hardships, they didn't hide the fact or gloss over the fact that some of our hardships as humans, we bring on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really understand something or we go too far with something. And so that was part, not all, obviously, because he had other hardships too, but that was part of it. And I appreciated that they showed that about his life.
Yeah.
They didn't try to make him a perfect person.
No.
Because he's not. No one is. Right?
Yeah.
So that they did a
And
good
I
job
actually,
with
I
that.
think they touch on a little bit of the mistakes that people made, including him, during times of like the slavery and all
Yes.
of these things that are stains on human history.
Yes.
They touch on, they don't just gloss over it and be like, oh, these are perfect people. They're not. They still, he said, I made compromises and I'm not a perfect man and I shouldn't have done the things I did, basically. And like, I'm glad they actually addressed those
Me
things.
too.
Because we need to see
But
that
all
side
the
of
while
it.
showing that his compassion for other people was what won him over, and
Yes.
that won them over.
Yeah.
To then see the love of Christ come out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious why someone could see the love of Jesus through someone who is doing what he did. You have to see the movie to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's obvious why you could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly there are lots of evangelists and preachers and pastors and priests and any kind of level that are, well, cons, or they are grossly misunderstand the gospel, or they partially misunderstand it, so they take it a different way, and their growth in that.
Yeah.
But there are people who really just learned as they went, and then they understood they were accepted by Christ, and that they didn't have to be perfect. And that showed through him. Like,
Yes.
his life was exemplary of that.
Showing he would get to the point where he was like, that's something now. He went through a part of repentance, repeated repentance.
Yes.
He always wanted to be making the right decisions
He was trying to
glorify
become more
God.
like Christ.
But also
Yes.
how he even pushed that too far and
Yes.
almost ended up dying because of it.
Yeah.
Like he tried too hard
Yes.
to empty himself of everything, and he's just a human.
Right.
So like learning how to
I loved how they did
balance that.
I know.
Yeah, it was so good.
And it was beautiful. Like, also that scenery, as we mentioned earlier with the other movie, the scenery was beautiful. The music
Yeah,
was
it's
phenomenal. You
fantastic.
could feel it right along. As I can't even say enough good things about it. I probably should
And
tell more. And I'm so
I know.
impressed.
I just go watch it. Like literally,
Yeah.
it's great. By the way, for
Yeah.
anything that is at home, I do have the links below to the Amazon through our affiliate links. That's also just so you can find it too, even if you don't buy it or watch it
I
through
don't
there.
even know that
I don't even know that we make anything from those, but
I
I
don't think we
know
probably do.
those were the
which
correct.
is totally okay, by
Yes.
the way. We just do it. We just put our links through the
Well,
Amazon
and I
affiliate
knew-
because it's easier for us.
I knew
It's like
too
right there.
with Prime Video, I knew those were the correct movies I was trying to send you to.
Right.
Whereas, it's not always easy with other
Right.
sites. So, because streaming services, you got to be logged in and all that.
Yeah.
But Amazon, you can see it. So, you can go see what the movies are and read the
Yeah, and
descriptions
they
and,
have
everything.
trailers for most movies,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah, so they are down there if you need to see
I'm
them
so
in the
glad
description.
we have 6 movies. Well, I didn't watch the last one, but you did.
I did, yeah. It was good.
We had 6 movies. I'm shocked at how, like, I went through and looked more through just Amazon alone, and found a whole bunch more movies that had been made over the last 2 or 3 years that I had no idea were made. and they really look good. And I'm really looking forward to watching them because I like to watch movies to get a life application out of it.
Yeah.
I want to see redemption. I want to see love, and I want to see kindness and compassion, because that's how I try to live my life. That's how you try to live your life. We've been through a lot of hard things.
And it's good reminders, too, because sometimes life gets you really down.
Yes.
And it's hard, and it reminds us of what we're looking for in life.
It's an encouragement of sorts. And I really need that. I can't even express how hard our life has been in the last 3 years, let alone the years before that, things that I went through and things that you went through.
Yeah.
And it almost would sound silly to somebody probably who are like, oh, you can encourage. That is, like, you get something out of movies, right? Otherwise, why are you going and watching them?
That's the point of stories.
I think so,
ultimately, that's what stories are supposed to be. And yes, some can just be entertaining or whatever.
Yeah, but there's still a story there.
Yeah.
I think I probably get more out of stuff than some people might.
I think
I think that is
well, and sometimes I think that's just, it may be how someone's mind works. It might be a gift. It might, there's a lot of different reasons we all see things differently.
Yeah,
and
I'm
the same way.
A storyteller, so maybe that's why I.
Sometimes I see too much symbolism in things, but like that.
I don't know
for
that
me,
you can see too much though, because if you're seeing it from a heart,
you can in mystery movies. That was I did that with the Sheep Detectives. I'm like, maybe this means that. I'm like, okay, it didn't mean that.
No, that's just looking out for the answer.
Yeah.
The whodunit part. The who part.
Yeah. Really, really good movies, though. All right. Well, are you good? Do you need a break right now? I have a be right back screen.
No,
I got that
fine.
set up. Okay, we're
it's
good
not
to
like
go
we
on.
both have to leave.
Right.
3 movies down.
Does anybody need a pee break? Remember that app, the
Run Pee.
Run Pee.
Run Pee. It tells you
movies.
when the best time in the movie is to go to the bathroom. I should download that again.
It
tells you what you're missing while you're in the bathroom.
It describes the scene of So
you can know ahead of time. This was a good spot, we thought, to go pee or to go get your popcorn.
In this scene, this is all that happens. Go pee.
It's called Run Pee. I gotta find that.
I don't know if it still exists. I learned about it like 15 years ago.
I know.
So.
I need to find that.
All right, next up on our list.
And there's usually more than one Run Pee spot, which is really handy.
Right,
for
because some of us have to run pee a lot. Lee, I totally get what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah.
There is actually several movies that I would like to appreciate for the story, but they push the violence and the language so far, I just can't get anything out of it.
Yeah, I know.
I can't get past that. It's too gratuitous.
Yeah.
I wish that wasn't the case.
That's why I think
movies.
I like Marvel movies so much, or just superhero movies in general, unless they're the
save
dark
a couple
side.
of few, that we don't watch.
But I like them because if there is something that goes on, which there usually is, obviously it's good versus evil, and evil can prevail at certain points until it doesn't prevail in the end, but
generally it has a purpose.
It has a purpose. They do it in a way that's purposeful, and it matters if it's the right. Like I don't watch stuff like I don't like the dark ones.
Yeah, and I don't
on the backside.
For
me,
like
what is that, the B side of the movie? I don't know.
You mean like the anti-hero stuff?
Yeah, I don't really like.
I don't.
I mean,
like Punisher and things. I don't watch.
I need redemption.
Yeah,
that's why I could watch the one with Nick Cage.
Ghost Riders.
Ghost Rider. That was a Marvel.
The first one, not the second.
Yeah, I don't even remember the second one. Oh, stupid.
The second one was an at-home movie.
There's my version of stupid.
That was like Marvel's direct-to-video side. Yeah. But
but I appreciated that movie and that story
because of the story.
I wouldn't have read the comic.
No. Well,
the redemption. That's what I need. Redemption. I need some life lesson, even if it's not part of my life.
Yeah,
I want to see these characters go through this redemption process.
Well, and clearly there's differences. Like people who know the comics will know, like we're talking the Johnny Blaze side, not what came later with Ghost Rider. Like there are different writers for different reasons, so you kind of have to know what certain things are.
So Lee says she's never watched a Marvel movie. We'll have to change that.
I actually would like to do a live stream, or maybe a couple, because there's a lot of Marvel movies that I like and you like, where we actually talk about I keep hitting my microphone, sorry. Where we actually talk about the storylines and the spiritual elements and the things we get out
because
of it.
I have to get something to drink.
Sure.
A lot of the comics, you should talk about that because Stan Lee put some of that in. I'm not even sure.
Not just Stan either. I mean, there's a lot to it that. By the way, you have a microphone on, so just remember that when you're. They'll still hear you. Don't turn it off.
Can I mute it?
Just take it off and lay it over here. There you go. That'll be easier.
Okay, good, because I don't mean to cough in everybody's ear.
I thought you might want to be able to cough in peace. Get your water.
Huh.
Lee says, "Where should I start?" Marvel movies. That's a loaded question, Lee.
Well, I know that you. I have my thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start with the ones that we feel are the most meaningful, I can definitely tell that because they're not all meaningful to that timeline, to that story, that arc.
True. And are you thinking Infinity Saga?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because Captain America, it starts with Captain America for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is going to be we should have this conversation.
We all know you love Iron Man.
Yes, I do. And the reason I do is because he does have a redemption arc, and I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And I didn't even read the comics. I just knew the way they were writing, because it doesn't follow, most of that doesn't follow the comics anyway, it's just loosely based on it.
True, yeah. They mix a lot through the years of different things.
I could tell from the first Iron Man, which is actually very different than most of the movies following it.
Yeah, and
Iron Man is a little bit heavier. And
Iron Man's story in general is heavier.
Yes,
the first one in particular is heavier because Disney was not at the helm yet, so there's more in it.
But it is worth watching it.
Yeah.
Because it sets up Tony Stark and what Iron Man is and what he becomes, and what Tony is and what he becomes, and the arc is really beautiful.
Yeah, so
all
basically,
the way to Endgame, his arc is beautiful.
We'll take a short intermission here because I do love Marvel most of the time. So when it comes to Marvel, there is Marvel movies. Marvel Studios is generally what we watch. That is what is now under Disney. They have what's called the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is what we mean when we say MCU. It's just the abbreviated version of that. I don't watch all Marvel. I watch all. I don't watch all of MCU. No, especially not some of the later ones.
Yeah.
But that is a interconnected multi-movie. I mean, like 20, 30 some movies.
20 years.
That come together to make an overarching story.
Which we really should do a live on this sometime because we actually have that's one thing my husband loved to do. The three of us would sit and discuss these movies from a philosophical standpoint, a spiritual standpoint, a life standpoint, living life, an overarching worldview. We would discuss these movies for hours at length. We would discuss them, and it's so enlightening in many ways.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a faith.
You can think really deep about these stories.
Yes, you can. There's a faith element woven into Captain America for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He speaks about it. And so I really love that, but we'd have to talk about it.
Yeah.
I would love to talk about it from there are people who haven't seen any, and Doomsday is coming out this year.
A lot of people are going to be interested in that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's going to tie that. It's really weird. I don't think it's going to tie to the arc of the 20 years, but they are tying it to Endgame. And
I don't think there's any way it can't with who they've chosen for Doctor Doom.
Right.
I think it's specific.
I'm hopeful, but I have my doubts that it's going to be.
Doomsday is going to be its own thing, even though it connects. I think is what you're getting at, and I agree with you. As far as, if somebody just wants to try Marvel and not commit to, I don't want to watch 20 movies right away. I want to see if I like this.
I would start with all the Captain America movies.
I agree. I would definitely start with Captain America, the first Avenger first.
Yes.
Because that's kind of your heart and soul of the storyline.
It is the heart.
Tony has a lot of it. But Captain America is
But Steve Rogers is the heart and soul of literally the heart and soul.
Right.
Of the whole entire, he is what the glue that keeps them all together.
He's the representation of what America should be.
Yes.
And the American dream and protecting other people. Proud. And exactly. Yeah. So I think that First Avenger is, while a lot of people look back on it now as being not as well done overall.
I have one word for them. They're wrong.
Those people are, how should I put this? Incorrect. Thank you, Jeff Goldblum. No, I understand that some people maybe.
Lee doesn't know what box she opened up. Marvel is our favorite.
But I can understand that as obviously as you go 20 movies in, you're going to get better at your craft.
Exactly.
Except for the last few years.
Well, you can't help it because
that's because they went into a money-making kind of world. Yeah.
You get better because the story develops itself.
Correct. But
if you keep that together.
Lee says I'm getting educated here. Yes.
I know.
Yes, you opened a box for sure. But definitely, if you're ever interested in trying Marvel, start there. It's
very uplifting.
Yeah.
And you feel really good with those movies.
Yes. And also, Lyle likes Thor too. And I also really enjoy Thor.
I like almost all of them.
I don't, personally, I do not like the last one, the fourth one.
Oh, no. I meant almost all of the MCU movies.
No.
But I don't. But
I don't like Love and Thunder.
No,
personally.
We should do a podcast or a live stream or a podcast or something on this sometime.
Yeah, but the
last Captain America is, in my opinion, not well done at all.
Civil War?
No, the last Captain America.
I kind of forget that one exists.
I don't.
You mean the one with Sam Wilson as Captain America?
Right.
It wasn't well done.
The storyline is not well done. The execution is not well done.
I was disappointed in that.
Even Harrison Ford is not.
He seems off.
Yeah, and he's great. And I love his.
He's one of my favorite actors, but it just doesn't work.
It just does not work well, and it's not really that important moving forward, and they know it. I think that's my opinion that they figured that out.
Honestly, I forget that one exists. I think most people do. So you can skip that one if you're not interested in the whole MCU. Yeah. Don't worry about that one. But the ones with Steve Rogers are the ones that I think are. It captures the story.
So I grew up with. Loving superhero movies. I mean, Superman, I remember seeing in the theater. Like, those movies were in Spider-Man when you were younger. Like, and of course I grew up with Spider-Man because, he was on TV.
Right. He's
America's hero.
He's the most beloved hero after Superman around the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a reason why. Because their hearts are in all of it. That's just what it is, and that's what Steve Rogers is.
Well, actually, Clark Kent and Steve Rogers are very similar.
They are very similar
in how they were written. Yes. I agree with a lot of that, Adrian. Most of the time, even if I don't appreciate an MCU storyline or whatever, they are still masters at their art in general, like how they film things,
and it is
how
very personal.
It is.
I don't take offense if somebody likes some movie in the MCU universe that I disagree with.
Right.
I don't like at all.
Yeah,
it's no big deal, and that's a beauty of it.
Yeah,
is you can like elements from certain things.
Exactly.
And
but you're right. Some of them are just disappointing. I think
we have really in-depth conversations still to this day, because like I said, it's our pastime of what they should have done and what they shouldn't have done, and that's really cool that you can. And the Russo brothers should have called us because
I'm sure we were next on their list.
Right. That timeline, they really messed that up.
And I'll give it to him. Anytime you get into time travel, multiple universes, it becomes so convoluted because it's outside of reality.
Right.
It becomes too hard to keep a hold on.
Right.
They did a great job overall keeping that in mind. But there are a few things here and there that you're like,
I know.
It's kind of like Star Wars. There's some of that too.
And of course, I can't say it enough because it means a lot to me that those stories do have a faith element woven in and a humanity level. Like just even with AI, they've introduced AI, and it's really just
They're great.
They're pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, we will do a separate live stream or 2 or 20 on those in the future. I think because I've already been thinking about that. I'm like, I want to do that because like I'm going through. I own most of them, even the X-Men and the old Spider-Man movies.
I like the old X-Men movies.
I thought you didn't like X-Men.
No, I like the old ones. I don't like.
You don't like the remakes with the younger ones as much.
Not as much.
Days of Future Past is probably the best one.
Probably yes,
because it mixes the old.
Yes,
cast
and as hard as Logan was to watch,
I didn't watch Logan because it's too violent for me.
It was very. I watched it with Ev, and he wanted to see it, and there was a lot of life stuff in it, and I thought very deeply about it. But man, was it hard to watch. It was
it's
not
very
your
violent.
Feel good, super violent.
It's rated R.
Super violent. You're not your feel good superhero movie. It's but the story is there for like a purpose.
And I do appreciate. I've heard people describe the story, and I appreciate the story.
Gratuitous.
I'm a sensitive viewer, so I don't watch that stuff.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good stories in you. If you're not familiar with comics,
you don't have to be.
You don't have to be. Some comics are not great. Some elements of comics are not great, but others are really profound. I think.
And I think so too. But I would never tell someone, if you like those movies, sure, go out and buy comics for your kids, because it is a whole different world.
No, it's way too hard to determine
what is. There's no. I mean, there's.
They rewrite them constantly, and so you have different writers and different content.
Disney has kept these family friendly, so that's what I appreciate.
Aside from a few, but
Well, lately.
Yeah.
They've
pushed the envelope more with some
and they've come together with getting the Fox family and all that.
Yeah. Hello, Theo. Good to see you.
Hi. Hey.
Okay, what's next that's on our list? Okay.
So we talked about Michael, Sheep Detectives, and A Great Awakening. If you're just now joining us and you want to know about those movies, we did talk in depth. We didn't give the spoilers away. I mean, I don't think we did.
No, we try not to.
Yeah, but we did talk about it pretty in depth, and we loved all three of those movies. Harold and the Purple Crayon is a movie that was out several years ago, and
I think like 2 or 3.
I love Zachary Levi as an actor. I have ever since I saw him in Chuck.
Yeah.
He just is great. And he did this movie, and I thought, I don't dislike kids movies. I liked a lot of kids movies still to this day. But a lot of them I just don't anymore, especially if they're kind of, like you said, TV made instead. But this surprised me.
It did me too. I would say, as opposed to like what we were talking about, Sheep Detectives being a style that wasn't as kid-based, I would say this one is more focused on children. It's written more to be a kid's movie.
It's not like too kiddish, but it's where kids can get it.
It's written for them.
Yes.
Which makes sense with the character. Like, I grew up reading...
You read that book?
Yeah.
That was one of the books you had when you were little?
Yes, I grew up reading Harold and the Purple Crayon. I had the collection.
There was a collection?
Yeah. I had a book like this thick.
I remember it, but I don't.
And
that's a long time ago.
It was. And so, like, I'm familiar with that, but this takes that concept and completely writes a new story of him coming into the real world. And so it's very imaginative, very creative.
That's a very cool... That's a concept that we kind of all, even if you're not a writer, in your life, you have these fantasy style thoughts about life. Like, would it be cool if I could fly? That's why superhero movies are popular. Just because we think of those things, and this touched on that.
And how they did it was fun.
Sorry,
that's okay. It's how they did it was fun. They actually used the crayon to do those things in the movie.
Yes,
which is cool.
And it did not look cheap or cheesy.
No, it was actually well done.
Actually very well done.
And I actually think, had they removed the character or changed the way it was portrayed of Porcupine, I think it would have been less kiddish. I think her character really...
She did good. The actress did great. But yes, I
that
agree.
Was the part that felt Disney Channel to me a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Moose didn't. I liked Moose.
I did too. but I do think that was their way of keeping it on that genre.
Yeah.
As a movie.
That's probably true. And overall, it's really family friendly. There were a couple of jokes that I could tell were for the adults, but it would have gone over the kids' heads completely. Like, they weren't inappropriate. They were just, as an adult, you're like, oh, that's what they meant behind that. But it wasn't anything.
No. I don't remember anything.
There was nothing bad in it at all. There was essentially no violence.
No. I
don't really remember.
At the very end.
He talks a little bit about, the villain talks a little bit about some things that are...
Well, I didn't like that spider.
the spider thing is disconcerting. I won't give spoilers away, but if you do not like bugs and
it's the end where good wins over the evil.
So
like
they are very careful to not kill off the villain, which I appreciate. You know, they keep it very PG.
Yes,
but
they kind of redeem him,
kind of, sort of, yeah, because he's more of an antagonist. He only kind of becomes a villain at the end, and then they sort of redeem him out of that a little bit.
Yeah, he sees the power of the crayon. That sounds really dorky, but it fits.
Yeah. And so there's very brief moment of him being kind of villainous, but it's the way they apprehend him is it's a gross moment. It's kind of
it's not gross like as in
it's not gory or anything.
No, nothing like that. It's just if you don't like spiders, you might not love it.
It's one of those things that it's meant to make kids go ew.
Right.
And so even as an adult, we were like ew.
Yeah.
But it's brief. It doesn't happen
okay,
long.
I didn't want to see that.
Yeah, and it's very. Even the spider looks fake. Like it's
yeah.
very fantastical.
Oh yeah.
So even if you don't like, I hate spiders, and it didn't bother me.
No.
It was just
I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, it was very sudden. Sudden thing.
Yeah.
But it's resolved very quickly.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that might
laugh it out.
I'm sure. But
They
if
would
your
totally
child is really bothered by bugs, you just be aware that there's an odd ending to it.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Me too.
oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm not a spider fan. Yeah.
But it looks like a fake. It doesn't look like a fake spider.
No,
they're not trying to make it look like a fake spider that's supposed to look real.
It's
a
very
creature that has legs like spider.
It's a creature fashioned after a spider, but like
flying.
It's a flying spider. It has like colorful legs, and it's the mouth that's really disconcerting. I think that's why.
Does,
that's what it is. But it's meant to be scary without being scary.
Yeah, it's just meant to be creepy, like not creepy in a weird way, but creepy like a kid, like a
kid would do if they have a big imagination, like it's a scary spider, that kind of thing.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So I would say just keep that in mind. But other than that, it's a fun movie. I think a lot of kids would like it.
Yeah.
They actually do. I wish they would have dove a little deeper actually into. They touch a little bit on grief and loss. I think overall, like
really
sheep detectives actually dove into it
all the way.
Yeah, this movie just kind of barely tiptoes up to it, and it kind of has a heart-touching moment there. I wish they would have pushed that further.
Me too.
Because it's kind of just dropped after that.
Yeah.
But they tried, and so I appreciate that.
But it's fun, and it's probably free, or it's on one of the streaming services you pay
We
for.
watched it on Disney Plus, so I know it's free if you have Disney Plus on there. Other than that, I'm not sure. It's complimentary with your. I got Disney Plus on a discount. That's the reason I have it, because I think all streaming is too high now. But I got it for like $4.99 a month for so long, or whatever. They did a deal. So we're just watching a bunch of movies on there.
Okay, so I can't recommend the next movie enough.
So our next movie is Sarah's Oil. Yeah. Also Zachary Levi.
I didn't even know about this movie, let alone that he was in it.
A completely different role, like opposite ends of the spectrum, almost. I mean, he's not a villain, but I'm just saying, like drama.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I put it up there. Comedy to drama switch for Zachary Levi.
Yeah,
really shows his acting talent.
He's actually an excellent actor. Excellent. It is his gift and his craft. You can tell. He is a storyteller.
Yeah.
That is for sure. And he told this story in a way that, and it's based on a true story, which I'm sure creative license was taken in it because it is a long time ago also.
Yeah.
But he told this story in a way that you see all sides of it.
Yeah.
There's no
it's very well
one
done.
Side or the other. It is very well done.
It is a faith-based movie. But also, I would say it was made by Amazon.
Well, I mean, it's a true story about a girl who, very young girl, slave family got their freedom, and she believed she got some land as given to her
through her ancestors. She inherited
because of the slavery, and she said God told her land had oil, and she believed God. She believed it, and that's what this movie's about. And I thought it was they did
It was
an
excellent.
amazing job.
Yeah.
And this little actress,
she's fantastic.
She's going places.
Yeah.
I mean, she can
gifted.
tell a story.
Very gifted. I would say this is definitely a drama. It has difficult moments for sure.
Yes.
But it's done in a way that isn't overly graphic either.
No,
it's pretty subtle in how they portray some of the things.
Yes, they don't show the things that could be disturbing if they showed it.
Right.
Because obviously it's
some bad people doing some bad things.
Right.
But they, again, there's a purpose for that. Yes, exactly. It is to further the story of how she trusted God through that, and her family trusted God, and
yes,
and
how she touched people's lives.
Yes.
Merely by seeing them, looking at them, looking into their face, saying what she said, and they could just. Even if they didn't know God, I'm certain that there was something about her that was mesmerizing to them.
Yeah. And I appreciated the way they handled the relationship between her and Zachary Levi's character.
Yes.
So much, and how they really commented on a lot of difficulties of that time period in particular. Of like how people were treated, how they would talk about each other, how they would see each other, and then how sometimes people would fall into that. Like there were things that he would say that he's like, I'm sorry, I don't even know why I said that. This is just, I'm not that kind of person. That's not my heart. And then it was him developing this. She said at one point, what I thought was a profound line was, it's not about this money or whatever. She said, it's about your soul.
Yes.
And how much that touched him, that he then stood up for her and her family and went against that bad stuff.
It was really great to see both sides of what that coin is. And how he was the center of that coin.
Yeah.
So one side you had the people who were racist in every way. They showed how some people were racist because that was in their heart. And they showed how other people weren't necessarily racist at heart, but the community around them, they felt trapped in that, I believe.
They were influenced by it, or they fell in step with it.
Or they just did whatever everybody else did, right?
Yeah.
And so it showed that humanity's not just A and B, black and white.
Yeah. For
lack of better terms.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Right.
But literally, they showed how
the complexities of that.
that how you can have varying viewpoints, and they also showed, and I appreciate this because this is not common, and I was thankful to see that that they portrayed in this movie. Who made this movie?
Amazon.
No, the husband and wife team.
He's
like a
Russell Wilson and
right?
Ciara were the producers of it.
Producers, okay.
Yeah.
So they showed Sarah, this little girl, the other side of the coin. She didn't immediately take offense to everybody who spoke to her as if she was lesser than them. She
knew her worth in God.
Yes,
and that was obvious.
That was obvious, and she didn't.
It still hurt.
It did. It still got to her.
They showed that.
But she gave them grace. And when she couldn't because they were being violent, she prayed for them. And she, I was amazed. I mean, this little girl was gifted. And then in the middle was this, that was two sides of the coin. And then in the middle of this coin, you had Zachary Levi's character, who was an oil, what do they call them?
They called him something particular where he was more of the
there's a name for it when they go try to find oil,
wildcatter. He was a wildcatter.
He would go try to find these opportunities.
Yeah.
And he knew what he was doing, and he helped her find the oil. And
sometimes they do things not the way they should, so that was part of the story.
Right.
Was him.
That's why he's in the middle, and he stood up for her and for other people of black skin color, because he knew that they weren't being treated right, and he was in the middle because he would say things. He was what I would discuss a while ago. a product of the environment. It was not in his heart. And I wish more people today of all nationalities, because God only made one race. The Bible says that. There's only one race. And so of all the different skin colors and all our different personalities and all the different backgrounds and everything that we have, there's a human in each person.
Yeah.
And they really showed that. And that's why I appreciated that when he turned to her and said, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. It's not in my heart. And she said, I know. Like, just simple.
Yeah.
Like, simple. And I love
like, her grace for that was such an example for every disagreement or misunderstanding in life, really is. I think it was really well done.
And something that hit me at the end, I'm still telling myself to this very day that I need to do more with my gifts that God, my story, the things that I have been through. Because she said, what was it, her grandma, her aunt told her, God gives everybody gifts. And she's talking to share with the world, talents, things that you can share, your story. God gives everybody gifts. The only sin is not using them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really great, because we do all have something that we can share to make the world a better place by being a good human. And if we're not doing, and that gift is our story. Our stories are hard.
Yeah.
And I thought they did an excellent job of showcasing that and showing it, and actually showing the sacrifices that actually both sides had to make.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. I would highly recommend watching that one. It was very well done.
Very. I'd watch it
again. Good story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good story.
Well, you have to talk about the last one by yourself.
The last one. Because you don't like animated. Funny enough, you love Disney, but you're not really an animated film kind of person overall.
Just certain ones. The story really has to be there, and I have to kind of forget that it's animated.
I actually think you would have liked the story.
I might. I mean, it is now, Marvel.
Yeah, and it was very well
MCU,
done.
It's Sony, right?
It's Sony, but it's when Sony actually does it the right way. So with this one, so this is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I saw Into the Spider-Verse years ago. I remember thinking it was a good movie, and I enjoyed it. It just didn't stick with me. Like, there wasn't anything that made me say, oh, I need to watch that again, or even remember a lot of the story. This one's totally different for me in that. So I thought, I'm going to watch this because I know a lot of people love these movies. There's going to be a sequel that finishes out the story at some point. They've delayed it like years, but I think it's supposed to come out next year. I would like to know, because I've heard a lot of good things about it, why people enjoy this story so much. And they put it on Disney Plus, and I was like, okay, I will sit down and watch it. And I went in to watch it one night, and I looked at it and I went, oh my goodness, it's a 2 hour and 20-minute animated movie. This is going to be so long. And because most animated movies are under 2 hours. That's highly unusual.
2 hours and 20 minutes. That's a lot of run pee.
That's very long if it's not. Animated movies they're generally, they don't keep you as engrossed a lot of times. And I thought I'm going to have to stop it and watch it like 6 nights, like in chunks or something. And I started that movie and I was like, well, I'm going to be up till 11:30 because it was just really good. Like the story.
The dialogue too?
Yeah. Like the storyline. So what's really interesting to me.
It wasn't written dialogue like a comic. Because
no.
Comics are so
and it
hard
wasn't,
to read for me. Some people love them, obviously.
This
but not
movie,
me.
the way it was written, could have been live action easily.
Wow.
It's not. I think it benefits from being animated because of what is shown in the movie with the multiverse and the certain characters. It just can be interpreted through drawings and CG better than it could be in that kind of animated CG.
But if it had a good dialogue, that's what makes stories like animated movies like Frozen, the first one, and Toy Story, and those they have a story that live people could walk right into and do it.
Exactly.
And that is different than a lot of cartoon based.
Right. Right. It's not, Spidey and his amazing friends. Like that's made for little kids or whatever. And sometimes that crosses over into movies
TV.
and dialogue and whatever.
Yeah.
This was a cinematic movie. And actually, the artistic value was phenomenal.
Was it?
I can understand why it takes years for them to get these particular movies out, because they're on a totally different level. Like
I hope we don't lose that to AI.
Some of the art, like I actually took pictures of some of it to show, like, just the color usage and like how that you can kind of see. Yeah, they're on there. Like how they portray, like the bottom right one, that is actually, so Miles in that instance, he's got an invisible suit that he can use, so you can actually see his outline next to Gwen.
Oh yeah.
And like the way they use the colors to do that. And then you have characters like the top right corner, that version of Spider-Man from that universe, he's like punk, like almost magazine cutout style. That they mix these styles. There's even live action people in it for certain characters. Like they show Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Donald Glover in some of these instances. And so it just makes the storyline so interesting how they portray it.
That's cool.
I actually think if you can watch an animated movie for that long, like, it's worth...
Or you can watch it at home and pause it.
Yeah, it's worth watching for the story, because it's very... it's way deeper than I thought it would be. The entire premise that leaves off in kind of this cliffhanger that they still have to answer is basically that Miles was never supposed to be Spider-Man in his universe, and that supposedly messed all this stuff up. If you watch the MCU...
And multiverses are hard to
so hard.
To do, to watch, to like articulate.
Yeah. Hard to grasp.
To grasp, to understand, to apply evenly, which they did not do well in the MCU at all.
And so if you're used to watching the MCU and you've never seen the Spider-Verse movies, you may be familiar with the fact that the multiverse concept is very all over the place. Yes. It's hard to understand what is incursions,
they tried to bring it in, and they have not been successful.
You've got all these concepts of incursions and nexus beings and anchor beings and
traveling back and then
and all this stuff. This movie,
it's not like Back to the Future.
And they make that clear actually in Endgame. This movie explains all those concepts literally in just like one sentence, and they're like, there it is, that's what it is. And I'm like, why didn't the MCU do that?
What's the sentence?
No, it depends on what they're explaining. But like basically just they make it, these hard complex concepts, simplified. And it doesn't
not simplified like you're reading a comic, which has... Like, I mean, I'm the queen of ellipsis whenever I write, so I get it.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of...
like that's what all comic books are, is just one ellipsis after another.
Yeah, there's not... Comics aren't known for conversations.
Right. And that's why I use ellipsis. I use them very strategically for thoughts and interjections.
You would prefer graphic novels, not comic books.
I don't know. But I've seen some of those too, and I just can't.
But I mean, they're more story-based.
They are.
Comics are more panel art-based, and they throw in
and I appreciate
dialogue.
It. I just for the art that it is, I just can't. My brain doesn't work that way.
Right. No, this is written as a movie, and so I think.
But it has nothing to do with the arc.
It's its own universe.
It's not going to play into the MCU
unless
arc
they
of 20 years.
Unless they somehow decide, because of the way they've set it up, to bring Miles into the MCU as live action somehow. That's possible.
But they probably wouldn't tie it into that particular movie.
I doubt it, just for the sheer fact that they've already established in this format that those universes look different from each other. So he's not... if they were to bring him into our world, he would have to still be animated per their rules. So it's going to be a different version. It's not going to work. Yeah. So it's its own thing. What I found really interesting is the first 20 minutes of the movie is basically a prologue setting up what's about to happen, so you have a context.
No one ever does that.
Yeah.
That's really helpful in a very scientific or... philosophical, any kind of, like, just not, something different than everyday life.
And it was clearly meant to be that way, because you don't even get the movie studio credits, like Columbia Pictures and Pascal Productions, until 20 minutes into the movie.
Oh, wow.
It's literally, you watch this show before the movie starts. and it sets it up. And I think that's really fascinating.
Is that my Run P moment?
Yeah, no, actually, it's really good.
No, I mean that when they bring in the credits.
Oh yes, no, it's not very long, but yeah. But I just thought that was such an artistic way to do it.
We've had 5 thumbs up, so now we have 6.
Mm-hmm. I would 100% watch it again, and I'm looking forward to the conclusion. I hope it doesn't take them another 3 years. As far as
listen, they all take that long.
I know. As far as like
boo-hoo,
family friendliness on that one, I believe I wrote down it's PG, right?
Yeah.
Or is it PG-13?
No, it's PG.
PG. Okay.
Michael is PG-13, and A Great Awakening is PG-13 because obviously they're heavier moments.
The rest are all PG.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised Sarah's Oil wasn't
PG-13. I think it's because they don't show anything they talk about.
But it's heavy.
It's still heavy. Yeah.
I mean, there's a heaviness to it. It's a great learning experience.
It is.
But it's heavy.
It's done in a way that isn't. They don't push any of that.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough.
But Spider-Verse across the Spider-Verse, it is PG. There are a couple of instances of language in it that they can throw into things now.
They allow a lot more now than they did 20 years ago.
And most of it is like they cut the word off. So like if you don't like your kids to hear those things, you might want to know that ahead of time. But like they don't finish out a lot of those things.
That's good because it gives a broader audience.
It does, and it's context based what they're saying. But the other thing is the villain.
Who is the villain?
The villain is the Spot.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
If he were live action, it would be really freaky. So in animation,
but as creepy as Void.
Yeah, he'd be creepier than Void.
Really?
Yeah. Because
I mean, it wasn't as creepy as people.
Yeah.
Creepy's not the right word, I guess. Disconcerting, maybe. Yeah. I think a lot of people said it was disconcerting what the Void did in
the snap thing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should tell you what movie we're talking about.
It's Thunderbolts.
Which is part of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Not only a little bit of it will matter moving forward, so it's not a huge. It's not the top of my list for sure, but he was basically invisible but not invisible, and you can't explain that. You have to see it. And
he's a shadow with eyes.
Yeah, but that's
essentially
you can't really describe it.
Yeah,
you have to see it to know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
like you can't put that into words.
But it's not scary.
No, it's just disconcerting.
It's not made like a horror movie or anything.
No, not at all. It's not disconcerting as much as everybody said it was.
But no,
this
not
one
at all.
You're saying would be if they took it.
If it was live action, it probably would be. Animated, they have the ability to. A drawing's just not. They don't push those lines.
Right. Well, you can't do that. Some things should only be drawn.
Yeah, I don't even think. I think it would actually be disconcerting and super cheesy at the same time if they tried to make it live action. So the reason it might be disconcerting to some kids, but most kids probably wouldn't even connect this.
But it's not in this movie, right?
No, what I'm saying is
the version.
Not really. I don't think most kids would be bothered by it.
I see.
The thing that is disconcerting about it, if they stop to think about it, is that the guy has nothing left. He is just like a voided form, no face, no anything. He has these spots he throws, and they're like portals. And so
but he's not
that
invisible.
Is weird. No, he's just a white outline.
Which is the opposite of the Void.
Yeah.
In the other movie,
and
he's a black outline.
It's not a suit.
It's not outline. It's a filled in.
Right.
Is he filled in?
Just white with the spots,
so
the black
white.
spots.
It's not.
And it's not a suit. It's supposed to be him. He says it's my skin or whatever. It's not. It's just like a form. But so that actually, I won't give spoilers away. But he makes himself more powerful, and that gets reversed, and he becoms a little bit more nightmarish in that way. But it's very subtle.
Just to sum up the overall storyline, is it something adults would like based on if they weren't comic fans, if they weren't MCU fans, if they weren't Spider-Man fans? Is the storyline interesting enough to keep people going who maybe don't have that background?
You don't have to be a comic fan to appreciate the story. It's very Spider-Man based in the actual Spider-Man world. So if you're not interested in Spider-Man, then you're probably not going to care about this movie.
Okay.
It's not an origin story. It's not even really. It's
so
grounded.
I might watch it before our next movie.
Yeah.
Movie Monday.
It's not. It's grounded in humanity that there's a human story, but it gets plucked out of that and taken into this multiverse story that you're maybe not going to enjoy that if you're not a general comic movie fan.
I do really I love comic movies. I love Spider-Man. But in the MCU, the multiverse is my least favorite part.
Right.
So jumping into different universes is a really cool idea. Mm-hmm. I mean, even as simple as a lot of sitcoms would cross over to the others. Characters from this one would go to this one. Like, I get the whole, the appeal to that is really neat because it's a different experience than what this character's normally used to. But how they handled it was just too... Like, I used to watch the show The Flash with you and your dad, and I really liked it in the first season or two, but then it becomes convoluted after a while.
It just becomes silly.
They can't cover their tracks. They have to start over, and they just have to forget what they said or did.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets beyond that, I'm like, no...
And see,
like,
so
I can't stick with it.
Because it's animated, some of the stuff that seems really bizarre works because of the way they did it. Like, there's literally, like, he's going through this area of different Spider-Man from all these different universes, and he sees a T-Rex Spider-Man. And it's, like, the most bizarre thing you could ever think of. But in the moment, it's like, okay, because it's like a multiverse, and it's kind of funny. It's made to be, they don't take it too seriously.
Okay.
They only take their human characters really seriously. And so the rest are kind of just for fun.
Yeah.
So they don't focus on those. Like, I think that's part of the...
You can really drop the storyline really quickly.
You can. And I think that's part of the first one you had a lot of trouble with was Spider-Ham.
Well, I just... No, from the very beginning. It was too cartoony for me.
Yeah, this one is not as cartoony.
I'm not a cartoon person. I really almost never have been. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really...
I don't find this one... I find this one way more live action adjacent. If I was comparing it to, like, the level of who would enjoy it from the MCU realm, anybody who really likes Loki would probably like this.
Oh, then I might like it.
Yeah.
Because, well, first of all, but it might be why. I like
Loki the show.
Because, I like Loki because even in the movies, he had a redemption arc. Mm-hmm. And I really want my villains to stay villains, and I want them to be beat.
Yeah.
I want them to be conquered.
Mm-hmm.
I want the victory to stay in the lane over here where it's supposed to stay. And if you have an anti-hero, they have to change and come to this side, or I don't really appreciate them that much, except for extra characters. Like, who's the one?
Like Wolverine's like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He is.
Actually, he's more of a hero that just does things in a non-conventional way. Like,
that's what an anti-hero is.
No, I get that, but, like, he's still more of a hero. Like, he comes to save the day. He's just not coming to save the day every time.
He's not
choosy.
Some anti-heroes are the level of no moral compass.
Right.
He's not.
Right.
Generally.
I don't prefer that, but I really like Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
I really, his story, if you know his story, I have to have a story.
Right.
I have to have some kind of... Their life has to have a backtrack.
Yes.
For me to appreciate it.
And Across the Spider-Verse has a lot of commentary on just because something... There's a lot of the greater good commentary that he has to wrestle with. You should let this happen because this is what's supposed to happen. And he says, I don't think that's right. I'm not going to do that. And so that's where you get the conflict between heroes that have differing...
His moral compass is good.
Yeah, he wants to save his dad. Mm-hmm. And they're saying, basically, and this isn't really a spoiler because this is part of Spider-Man, generally someone close to them dies, and that's part of what builds them into the character they are. Yeah. And so they're saying that has to be in the universe, and he says, I'm not just going to sit back and let that happen because you tell me it has to. Yeah. And so it's that storyline of getting to...
Oh, it does sound very interesting.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I think it brings up a lot of good
Lee says she'll have to watch at least one of these movies so she can chat on our next movie.
Yeah. I would watch them all again. I mean, as far as the order of what you would like, how would you rank them as, like, most
But that's personal.
rewatchable?
That's personal.
Yeah, but
though,
I'm just interested in your subjective
So personally,
ranking.
because I would have I always have like two tracks that I put my movies in, and one which is where generally if it I believe it's very very important that if you are a follower of Jesus, I mean, even non-believers have proven he existed. There are accounts outside the Bible from people who weren't necessarily believers,
Right.
who say he existed.
Yeah. There are.
He's real human, and that people died for the fact that he rose again. They believe he died and rose again. Yes. And so, as humans, we're not signing up to die for something we don't really believe.
Right.
And generally, we're not signing up to die for things we believe. Right.
There is a lot of historical evidence.
Right. So if I live my life that way, that it's very important to me that I'm not here for any other reason other than what God has me here for.
Yeah.
And so I'm very picky, even though I do like movies for entertainment.
Right.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. But like I have these two like categories, and so if it has a faith element or if it's faith based, they go in one category. But they don't all, like, they're not all made as well or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, so I'm going to feel differently about those. And then there are movies that even if they don't have that, I really like them, artistically speaking, or like, all the different values of entertainment or maybe the storytelling. Then they go in this, but then I can push them together. And I got to say, as far as these five, the first five we talked about, that's super hard because they're movies from both of my lists.
But like, I'm wondering, which ones would you order in numerical order? Which ones you would want to watch again? Like, if I can watch this movie again, it's definitely going in number one. And then from there, how would you rank them?
I would say Sarah's Oil and then Great Awakening.
Why are they on two different lists?
Just because these are my fingers, not using. They're not on two different lists. Sarah's Oil would be number one that I would watch again.
We're scrolling left or right?
2.
Okay.
And mainly because actually they would both, if I went to the living room right now and I could watch both of them, I honestly don't know which one I would put on first. Yeah. They would. Okay. I really, really like both of them.
But for entertainment purposes too, what would you rank high? Because those are harder movies. You're not going to choose to watch those all the time.
Well, if I just want to sit down and enjoy a movie, then I would probably put Sheep Detectives right up there.
Yeah.
That'd probably be my first
That's
choice.
probably number one for me too. Yeah.
It was really well done.
Yeah.
And I would if y'all don't know me yet, I'll tell you like I feel. I would not say
I don't know where you're going with that.
I will not say I like something that I don't like.
Yeah.
I may change my mind later, and then I will discuss why, and I will tell you why I changed my mind because you learn things later, right?
Or your taste changes.
Yeah, well,
that can happen.
Yeah, not normally for me, but sometimes I guess. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, if I say I love that movie, then I love it. There's music in movies that I love. They have a category of their own.
Yeah.
Like there's certain musical artists that sing songs. The lyrics, the way they have written it, how it sounds, how it makes me feel. There's nobody else touches them, and to me, I might not even like every song on their CD, love every song on their CD. It might not like touch my soul or whatever,
right?
But generally they do. Generally, there are certain artists like that, and there are certain like my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
everybody has those, right? Like,
I think so.
Like you can name your top 5 or 10 movies of all time that you like, and they can be for different reasons. But when I say I really, really love something, I mean because it touched me. Yeah. And it means something to me. And I really enjoy it. So, oddly enough, a hard movie like Sarah's Oil or Great Awakening, a hard life, their hard lives. I just thought they did such an excellent job that it makes me love the movies.
Yeah, and I'm kind of similar. I really also like. I think just being an artist for all these years, I put like the artistic value of how a movie's made pretty high too on my list. And so sometimes that will be sort of a determining factor for me on that too. But yeah, and movies that make me think, even if they're not hard movies, but just things that like I can think about the kind of the philosophical elements behind it or whatever.
I know some people can watch a movie just to watch a movie. Like they'll watch every movie that comes on. I can't do that.
No.
If it
I
does
find
not,
something in pretty much everything.
I don't.
I mean like I have to, or otherwise I don't find it entertaining.
If it's not there to be found, I'm gonna find it. And if it's not there to be found, then I
don't
can't
connect
stick
with it usually.
Not at all.
I actually don't know that I could name a movie that I watch purely just for entertainment.
Listen, there have been movies at theaters I got up and walked out.
Oh yeah.
I am not sticking around for something. And one of them was a Disney movie, but I won't share which one that was because I might y'all might love it. I'm just saying there are movies that I refuse to watch. Just because
I stopped loving Thunder halfway through.
Oh, it was.
I couldn't do it.
I didn't even.
I was like, I can't do this.
Did I even watch 5 minutes of it?
Yeah, we got halfway through it, and I was just like,
you got halfway through it.
Yeah.
It was on the screen in the same house I was in.
I just can't do it. It's just not for me. And I will say, I know some of the story elements that were in it that I appreciate out of it, that were more, thoughtful. But because of how it was done, those were so lost to me in the presentation. I just couldn't get through it.
Yeah, I would
it does matter to me.
I've often recommended the MCU movies because obviously it's personal. There's some people who just love whatever genre,
right.
but I think they've done an excellent job cinematically speaking.
Yep.
Cinematography, a storyline, like everything. The music, it just makes you feel they've done a really great job, but not every movie in it.
No.
Like I would say watch MCU, but here's the ones you don't need to watch. You don't need to watch the Eternals. We'll do this sometime. We'll talk about it. You don't need to watch Multiverse of Madness. There are just certain ones that are just like it. You won't need them anyway.
Yeah.
But there's just no depth in Multiverse of Madness. I need depth.
There especially isn't when you consider it was done better on the shows that came before it. That I was like, we already did this story, so I'm not sure why you're redoing it in a worse way.
It's forced depth.
It is, and so
for instance, the precursor to that movie.
WandaVision?
No, his movie.
Oh, Doctor Strange. I really like Doctor Strange.
I was convinced from the time I heard about it all the way through to seeing back when they did movie ads.
They still do.
Well, very few. But I was absolutely convinced I wanted nothing to do with that movie. I was like, I'm not going to watch that movie. I don't think I'm going to like that movie. I don't want that spiritual bent. I don't want to deal with, that's not going to interest me at all.
If you know anything from the comics, which I did, I was like, about this.
Yeah, and then the side of it, I appreciated the fact that there was going to be some challenge in his own life. He was going to be fighting his own demons, but
quite literally sometimes. Yeah.
But I decided to see it because I had loved the MCU movies to that point, and I was shocked at how much I really appreciated how they did that movie.
I think it's because even if you don't necessarily, we don't have the worldview that they implemented in some of it, it's still so well done just for commentary, too.
Yes.
Just like how you understand the world, how do you see the world, even if you don't necessarily adhere to one belief or another, what are we looking at in humanity?
But boy, did they do a good job of bringing the humanity out of it.
Yeah, they did.
It's the humanity.
It makes you think deeper.
Fantasy.
They did.
We know that he couldn't possibly do what he did.
Right.
In the way that they said he did it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but that stuff is interesting. But yeah, if you're, just like you were saying, if you're interested in starting some Marvel movies, especially since we are going to talk about some of them, if you want to see some ahead of time, I would say for those who are more particular about what you view, it's fine if you want to watch these and they don't bother you or whatever. But just what I know personally, for people like me who maybe are more sensitive viewer or just doesn't want to watch certain things, Avoid Deadpool and Wolverine because it's very violent, and there's a lot of
It's
very
gratuitous.
violent.
It's all. There's a lot of gratuity.
I know a
didn't
lot
even
of
watch
people
it.
can enjoy it for its humor and stuff and whatever, but I can't do
The
it.
clips I saw were
Yeah.
very gratuitous.
Yeah.
It was
There's also
purpose. There was no purpose.
there's a lot of language and a lot of like references and things, so it's not family
and that
oriented.
was before Disney bought it
No,
out.
no, this is the one
Oh,
they made.
you mean the second
Yeah,
one?
don't
Yeah,
the Deadpool
don't watch
movies.
the first one for sure.
Avoid the Deadpool movies if that is not your thing
Right.
and you don't like that kind of thing.
Right, and the thing is I want people to know that because it doesn't represent the arc of what we actually
Right.
describe.
Yeah, they
as
are very
human.
different.
Yes.
They are their own thing.
Yes.
Multiverse of Madness was pushed towards the horror bent. It wasn't enough that even I couldn't watch it. I just didn't like it personally because I don't like that stuff. So if you don't like horror style, I would suggest skipping it.
Well, I mean, they wanted Sam Raimi because that's what he did.
That's what he does. But I mean, Sam Raimi also did the original Spider-Man movies, and they were great. So
true.
you never know what they're gonna end up with.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder to me, the best way I can describe it is if you really enjoy SNL style humor, like a lot of slapstick, things that don't really make sense together, they're just purely for trying to laugh. That's what Love and Thunder was meant to be.
Well, it's so.
I just didn't find it funny.
So was
Ragnarok?
Ragnarok.
But Ragnarok had way more of a story.
I appreciated Ragnarok's story the second and third time.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of the theater, I was like, that was not Thor.
Yeah, it's
That was not superhero.
the hard
That was
part
not-
about Thor is each one of his movies is totally different from each other.
And the ones I like the best are the ones they're going back to. They said they're taking Thor back to what he
Right.
was meant to be, which was a lot of heart and soul.
Right.
And because they messed him up in Endgame so bad.
We'll go into
I
that
was
another
actually
day.
mad about that.
Yeah.
How you just don't ruin a character like that.
Right.
Not a character that's been established for years.
And then Eternals, like you
They
said.
didn't call
that's-
me, as I
know.
said.
But back to our little thing here. Eternals, like you said, is just...
Don't even mention it twice. Go on.
It's so much of an offshoot, and it's not... It's just confusing. If you're not into all that
did a
stuff,
really
it's going to
poor
confuse
job.
you. The Marvels... I would not... I like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I like Captain Marvel, but the Marvels...
I wouldn't suggest watching the
down.
Marvels, especially not as a first one. If you want to try it later on, or whatever, just for entertainment purposes, it's fine. It's not a bad movie. It's just not... It's nowhere near the level
Oh, not at all.
of the other ones.
I feel like it should have been a made-for-TV.
Right.
It was not... Yeah, Lyle, you're right. Thor is not supposed to be cheesy. He has humor, and especially when he and his brother Loki come together, the humor was great for the first many movies they were in together. But the cheesy, they just lost. They lost the character. They changed his character completely.
Yeah.
You just don't do that.
Well, even he said we went too far into the kind of the slapstick kind of side of it.
It's not, that's just not what those stories are about. They don't hold
it detracts from what actually is meaningful about Thor, because there's a lot there that's really good.
Yeah.
And it was a shame they pushed it that far into it, because I think it kind of ruined it. But
And
at least they didn't throw him away after that.
I would say I have spoken. Not it was a chance encounter. It was not a friendship or anybody I knew. I spoke one time to a person.
Chris Hemsworth somewhere?
No.
Where are you going
I met
with
a person
like, you didn't tell me
in
the
a
story.
very quick conversation who believed and followed the religion of
Norse mythology?
yes, and he like Loki specifically.
Right.
And all I could do was pray for him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's a disconnect there in this person. I could see this disconnect from the real world. And it's
understood to be mythology too by pretty much the whole world. Yeah.
So I think that what I appreciate about the movies, minus the cheesy part, with Thor, is the fact that they didn't dive into that at all.
Oh no, it's kept in a fantasy realm, just like Doctor Strange, the first one is, and they will touch on. It's drawn from those influences to make the fantasy story.
Well, and basically because the names are known.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
people would know
right.
them, and
Right.
so
It's just like when you watch, like, what's all the, like, Clash of the Titans and all
Yeah.
those. It's very similar to that kind of.
yeah.
It's just Norse instead of
Yeah.
Greek and Roman and all that. But I
I
think.
guess I always need and always appreciate the human side of it. That's why I like the superhero movies, because the ones that give us the human side, even if they're not supposed to be Earth,
Right.
you know, whatever. Like he's not, but or Superman wasn't. But
Yeah.
the human side of it, I need it. I'd rather watch those human side story, the side of humanity, through a fantasy told story than I would really a story that's really not. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like this, it just depends. It has to be done so well for me to appreciate
Yeah.
a movie. Pickier than I sound, apparently, because I really like these. I guess we're not reviewing all the movies we watch that we don't like.
Well,
maybe we should, but we're so picky. We're so good at picking movies. We might not have any.
Yeah, I haven't seen any movies in a long time that I haven't liked, except for Love and Thunder. That's the only one so far.
Captain America. One.
But I mean, like, as in something I would actually rate down.
I wouldn't. Certainly wouldn't rate thumbs up.
Like, for me, Captain America: Brave New World is like here. It's not here.
I'm not that generous.
Here. Yeah.
I was very disappointed. I was so excited for Harrison Ford to be in it. That storyline.
We should watch it again. Let's see if it's any better the second time. Yeah. Well,
it will not be better the second time. I can tell you that.
Probably not.
There's just not enough story.
Yeah.
It was like children arguing. Would you not agree?
Well, actually, the dialogue was pretty poor.
It was. Actually, what's his name that's in, I'm blanking, on the movie with Bucky as a senator.
Sebastian Stan?
Yep, I said the movie.
Thunderbolts?
Yes, thank you. The character that's in Thunderbolts that he was Captain America for a minute, but he really wasn't.
Oh.
What's his name?
That's, yeah. I'm blanking,
yeah,
but
me too.
It's Russell Wyatt's character.
Yeah. He did fine as an
Agent
actor.
Walker.
Walker. He did fine. He was no Captain America. And he
wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, they didn't convince us he was.
They were trying to make him very dislikable.
But they were trying to portray him in a way that is that Captain America? That kind of thing. Question. He did a great job he was a fine actor. It's just that they made his character way more easy to tolerate in the Thunderbolts movie.
Right.
Like he fit.
Even though in the beginning he's real hard to like in that too. But it's meant to be that.
It is, and you see his transformation.
Yeah.
You do not get that in the first movie.
Right.
You
mean the show?
In the movie.
He's not in any of the movies.
in the show. Sorry.
Yeah. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yes. And then when
Danny.
And then hi Danny. And then when the Brave New World came out, I was so glad that
he wasn't in it.
Yeah, that storyline was still there because
a little bit,
because Sam. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Dan. We're actually getting ready to get off anyway because we've been on here for like 2 hours, but
have we?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
We were gonna do an hour and a half, but you know us.
Yeah. Well, these movies were really good.
Yeah, and we got on tangent.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, the Marvel tangent.
Yeah. We'll get into another Marvel tangent another day.
Yeah. So I guess we should end there because it has been 2 hours.
Probably so.
We could talk about movies a long time.
Yeah.
But we just don't do these very often, almost never anymore. We need to do more. We have had a lot of people contact us and tell us they want us to do more lives because they like them. And wow, do we appreciate that? Because I don't know. We just talk. I
think we did. We like to talk, and we like to talk to other people when you feel like it. We literally have these conversations without the camera. So this is we're just sharing it with you all.
We talk deep. Mm-hmm. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for chatting with us, and thanks for
thank you all.
Just supporting us all the time. You guys are really great.
Yep.
And we will do this again.
We will do this again.
Not every Monday.
No, not every Monday. I cannot do anything every week
either.
anymore. I'm not that good at that,
Can't
staying
either.
that committed to those things. There's always something that comes up, but I do.
Usually it's my health.
Yes, I do have. We do have some videos from our trip, just some fun ones that we wanted to share. And since now I'm finally not sick, I'm gonna get to those soon. So watch for those to show up.
Especially if you like Disney, especially look for our video where Mickey surprised us with something they almost never do.
That was our last day of our trip.
Our last day of our trip, and the cast members told us after, they said we almost never do that for anybody, and it was amazing. I bawled.
Yeah, it's a great.
I
moment.
cried.
It's very special. So we did. They did record it for us, which was so sweet of them
did.
to do. So
Yes,
we
they
have
did.
that video.
They came up and said, "Is this a camera you want to use?" And we're like, "Yeah, what for?"
Right. He's like, "Can I have your camera?" And I was like, "Sure, you're a cast member. I know you're going to use it for something."
Yeah, it was probably one of our top moments in Disney World in over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It
awesome.
was really, really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We had so much fun. Yeah,
And
I'm
it'll
going
be
to
a
get it
vlog.
on
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, we haven't put any on because we came back sick.
Yeah, so we've just been recovering the last couple weeks and kind of getting back into the groove of things.
I don't think we have that many vlogs to put on, but
not many.
We'll put it. You'll know by the title, but it's the Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, it should.
It'll be the Hollywood Studios.
There
we
will
only went
be
to one park each.
There will be
day.
one park each day. Should be their own separate vlogs.
Yeah, it'll be the Hollywood Studios. One. But it was. Yeah.
It was special.
Mickey and Friends, by the way.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
Yeah, I'm probably crying in the whole video, but whatever.
It's a neat video. I actually rewatched it the other day.
Did you?
And I was like, oh, it's sweet.
I don't care how I look. I just bawled my way through it.
Yeah. Oh well, we will see you real soon.
Yeah,
yes.
We will. All
Thank
right.
you
Love
all.
you guys. God bless you.
See if I can do this.
We don't do this very often.
No, this is new.
This is
right.
we could have a blooper reel of just
Right?
the end of videos or
Right.
vlogs.
Okay, here we go. Ready? And